We're gonna do it. All right. So welcome to the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. Your host again, Mr. Blows Your Minds. And we're gonna do a recap tonight. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a recap. I see so many shows out here based on what I did. My last show was based on, right? The last show was based on the simple fact that I did a show based on the fact about the Rachel Richardson. That was about 2 days ago. And so now that they came out with the report. And so based on the report, they're still holding their position. I still see those who are saying what they believe. But again, the whole question becomes, what was shown? What you've seen and what they told you, does it mean that somebody lied, or was there just inconclusive to prove the point? So I decided to go ahead and put this last video. This will be the last video that I do on this, but I'm going to give something that nobody has shown. They talked about, but they have not showed anything when it comes to it. Now, one thing I noticed is all the fact is that I got some subscribers over that last 2 days. I get it up to 5, and what you know what YouTube do, they took the 5 away. Because why? Mr. Blows Your Mind channel is growing. And if it starts to grow, they don't want it to get, to imagine that going on 11 years, they can't get 3,000 subscribers. They've been doing that for years. So that just tells you the potential I've always had. So I'm going to wait a little bit, and then I'm not sure. I'm hoping that that's not going to be a part of it there, but looking to see if anybody comes in. If not, well, we're just going to do the countdown. We're going to do it until somebody get up in here. So let's do the countdown and let's get it.
Portions of the following program may be unsuitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit education or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This video was made for entertainment purposes and is transformative in nature.
And since the American white man has used his control over the press and over the textbooks and over all forms of media to make it appear that he has done us a favor by bringing us here and enslaving us, rewrite history or retell history. And since the white man can't dispute this truth, it's not hate to say that we were kidnapped and brought here, it's truth. It's not hate to say that we were Jim Crow, discriminated and segregated, it's truth. It's not hate to say that the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in this country, came up with a hypocritical desegregation decision 9 years ago, which they haven't enforced yet. That's not hate.
Remember, the enemy has only images and illusions, behind which he hides his true motives. Destroy the image, and you will break the enemy.
Welcome to the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. I'm again your host, the whiteologist, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and welcome to We Up Report. I know y'all probably didn't think like, Mr. Blows Your Minds, you coming on at this time? Well, you know, I haven't made a set time, but eventually we're gonna get there and make it where it's always you can rely on a certain time of the day or evening or night, either way. So first and foremost, I want to say what's good to my fam, my day ones, the original day ones. And my newly subscribers, and some of you probably done subscribed and they done yanked you away. I seen a few new subscribers come, and as soon as you got in there, what did YouTube do? They snatched you right out. Can you believe that? Going on 11 years, and for some odd reason, they have somebody that works for YouTube, must be a subscriber, and every time I come on, he comes in here, he watches it with something he doesn't agree, or he or she doesn't agree, they're going to come and take it away. Because, I mean, I document everything so I can also show you the fact of what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's for another time, another way. We're not in here just for that. We're in here to do what we do. So, as you came in, or you seen the thumbnail, we're talking about Rachel Richardson didn't lie, right? Rachel Richardson didn't lie, right? That's what I'm talking about. Did she lie? According to the reports that just came out, some people would assume and say that they're steadfast on the position that because how does a tie in baseball, if we were playing baseball, and if there was a tie at first base, who does the tie go to? Are you out, or does it go to the runner? But it seems in this case, if a person is tied, in the case of saying, well, I say that something took place, and because the other side wasn't able to disprove that I lied, but to say there was inconclusive evidence as to the fact that what I said, so that makes me a liar. Many of us have seen over the years, seen people go to court, have trials where people, matter of fact, how about this? Let's just do it this way. This is something that I know everybody kind of knows. When O.J. Simpson, remember the O.J. Simpson case? They called it the trial of the century, where it said the United States, the nation of the United States was divided on the racial line. Black people was for O.J. and the other side was for the other people, correct? But black people really went for OJ. It was just about seeing the system on trial and seeing an individual who had enough money to provide himself with a full defense. As a matter of fact, he called his defense team the Dream Team, right? He put together a dream team based on the case and the allegations that said that he did. But when you would have took a poll at that time, you would have noticed that most people would have had said on one side that he was guilty, that he did that. The other side was, well, whatever the system says, based on what the facts are, we will conclude our answer on that. So when the system or when the trial went through the process, and at the end, OJ won, people, even after what the court system said they did not believe that they believe he still was guilty. Yet the system said he was not guilty. So it's like, well, in some instance, people know that you can be guilty and still be innocent. And there's many people that we know as Black Americans, ADS, FBA, Indigenous, Moors, all the above that I call as Black Americans. We have seen many of our people do times of 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, and be exonerated and never was guilty of the crime that they were supposedly had committed and found guilty. Let me say that again. Whether you FBA, ADOS, Indigenous, Indigenous, Moors, Black Americans, all the above, we have seen our people be exonerated after 30, 25, 40, 45 years and had not been guilty of a crime that they had been found guilty, but the evidence didn't support it, but they were guilty anyway. So is that what happened here? Is that what happened here? Right? But before I get into that, all my passerbys who pass by, this is the most hated show on the black corner of internet. Happen to go down. We always got a grand opening. Happen to go down the aisle. Happen to see something to make you feel some kind of way. Remember, the motto of my show is the truth. Don't need no partner. So, as I was saying, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you hear what the BYU had concluded, and I'll come back after that, and then we're going to get into this. Let's go.
BYU completes investigation into Duke players' racial slur allegations, finds no evidence to corroborate claim. BYU also lifted the ban on a fan who had been accused of shouting racial slurs. Brigham Young University announced a Friday morning that, following an extensive investigation, there has been no evidence to corroborate an allegation made by a Duke women's volleyball player that she was subjected to racial slurs during a game at BYU last month. The Cougars athletics department released a lengthy statement summarizing its investigation into an August 26th incident where Duke player Rachel Richardson claimed she was targeted and racially heckled throughout the entirety of the match, which then evolved into threats. Richardson alleged that BU officials and coaches were made aware of the incident at the time but failed to act. On a Friday, BU revealed its findings and found no evidence to support Richardson's claim. From our extensive review, we have not found any evidence to corroborate the allegation that fans engaged in racial heckling or uttered racial slurs at the event. As we stated earlier, we would not tolerate any conduct that would make a student, athlete feel unsafe. That is the reason for our immediate response and our thorough investigation, the statement read. Our fight is against racism, not against any individual or any institution. Each person impacted has strong feelings and experiences which we honor, and we encourage others to show similar civility and respect. We remain committed to rooting out racism wherever it is found. We hope we can all join together in that important fight. According to the university, officials reviewed all available video and audio recordings of the match, including security footage and footage taken by BET. The school also interviewed more than 50 people in attendance, which included Duke officials and student athletes on the team. There will be some who assume we are being selective in our review. To the contrary, we have tried to be as thorough as possible in our investigation, and we renew our invitation for anyone with evidence contrary to our findings to come forward and share it. Duke responded in a statement saying it unequivocally stands with its team but did not outwardly address BYU's findings. The 18 members of the Duke University volleyball team are exceptionally strong women who represent themselves, their families, and Duke University with the utmost integrity. We unequivocally stand with and champion them, especially when their character is called into question. Duke Athletics believes in respect, equality, and inclusiveness, and we do not tolerate hate and bias. BU also announced that the ban on a fan not a student from BU had been lifted as a result of the investigation. The man was escorted out after reportedly interfering with guests, not for shouting racial slurs. He was later identified as being mentally challenged, a BU athletics official told the BU Cougar Chronicle, the student-run newspaper. As a result of our investigation, we have lifted the ban on the fan who was identified as having uttered racial slurs during the match. We have not found any evidence that that individual engaged in such an activity. BU sincerely apologizes to that fan for any hardship the ban has caused. According to the Desert News, Christian Barrow, a freshman and just one of 4 black players on Duke's team, previously told local outlets that she did not hear any slurs during the game but stood by Richardson.
Hey, you sitting here watching the video. Why you sitting there? Put your hand on that like button, click it, thumbs it up, share this video, comment. You can like or dislike it. We don't care about that. And also, if you ain't over here and subscribe, what you waiting on? Get yourself over there and subscribe to get on up to WeUpReport so you can stay up, because we going to keep you up. That's how you help keep this channel going. You can also do some monetary donations. We'll tell you about that later. But right now, wake yourself up, like, share, and comment. And don't forget, when you subscribe on that button, hit that put all notifications. You know how YouTube get down.
You know I need some money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash. Hey, come on, gotta get it. You know I need the money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash. Hey, come on, gotta get it.
We are back. As you heard there in that report, they're talking about how BYU completes its investigation into the Duke players' racial slur allegations, finds no evidence to corroborate claim. Let me say that one more again. BYU completes investigation into Duke's players' racial slur allegations, finds no evidence to corroborate claims. Now, based on what that just says, when you say that there to collaborate means we didn't find something that ties in to what you claim. We didn't find. But just because you don't find don't mean it didn't happen. And if you stay to this, watch this video, I'm going to show you what nobody else has shown that talked about this story, so that for those, instead of hearing words and hearing people, let's say, projecting their ideology to people to make them to the way they see it, well, I want you to see it for your own eyes, because they said that a picture is 1,000 words, right? Well, we're going to see if these pictures that I got, because I took the time out and I went and watched that game, 2 hours and 5 minutes. I watched the entirety of the game because I wanted to know for myself. And what I seen, I'm going to show you, and show you that people who are talking, a lot of them have whatever agenda they got for why they do what they do, they did it. So according to this article, they talk about how the investigation was an intense investigation, and that no evidence had collaborated with the allegation that was made, saying use of racial slur. Use of racial slur. Well, this racial slur was the N word, what we say is nigger, right? So this was the BYU Duke volleyball match that was back in August of 26, 2022. And this here was based on the new release that the Brigham Young University had released on that Friday. Okay. According to them, they said that the investigation had concluded that there's about 50 witnesses, eyewitnesses. Now, when they say 50 eyewitnesses, is that 50 student body people who are in that section, or is it 50 individuals randomly? Because we know, and as you will find out, that majority of the people that was there were in that particular section were the student body. So if you got 50 eyewitnesses, and a lot of people are alluding to the fact that, well, people are liberal, and that ain't got nothing to do with this. You must see with your own eyes and come with your own conclusion. I'm just here to show you so that you can see for your own eyes, and then you find for yourself. But again, they said 50 eyewitnesses, and this was including Duke and BYU volleyball players. Now, again, we didn't hear any statements from the Duke players or what they would have heard. We didn't hear anything from, except for at the end of that, let's say, of that media insert, or let's say that report that was read. At the end, you heard them mention a particular player as a freshman on the volleyball team, and they misconstrued what she said according to what I've read. They said that she didn't hear no racial slur, and they ended right there. But that's not exactly what she said. But you, as we go on, you're going to find out about all that, right? So we're going to go in. And so now they said they review all available video. What do they mean by all available? When I hear all available, that means there may be some that wasn't available, right? Let me say that again. There could be some that was not available, right? Think about that. Can some not have been available? Right? Some could have not been available. Some could have not been available. Oh, what they did, they done knocked me all the way out, huh? They done took me. They don't want nobody to hear this. Yo, yeah, ain't that something? That's how you know when you got the truth. When nobody wants us, according to the other side, that doesn't want you to be heard, right? So they making sure nobody's here, because there's one I know should be in here. So that's telling me everything that I need to know. But we're gonna keep on going anyway. Right? Because I know you're going to bury this anyway, because we know why you do what you do, right? So accordingly, there's all available. What you mean by all available video? Is it all or selective? Or there's ones that we don't want to show? Video and audio recording. They said they also got the security footage, and they said raw footage. What do they mean by raw footage? They also talked about how they got the raw footage from all camera angles taken by BYU TV of the match. Then they say something to the fact that the broadcasting audio that was removed, so that they say the reason why they removed the broadcasting part of the video is so that it can ensure that the noise from the stand could be heard more clearly. Now, wait a minute. Is that altering, tampering with evidence? Let me say that one more again. If you tell me that you, to make this more, as you say, can hear better, if you take the broadcasting part off of it, that means you have tampered with the evidence. So that means that in itself should be inadmissible as anything to be with evidence, because you have tampered with it. Am I right or am I wrong? Man, I'm just speaking to myself, right? So again, this is all based on the fact that they said that according to August 26th, when Rachel Richardson said that she heard a racial slur during the second set. Now remember this, keep this a mental mark in your mind. Rachel Richardson said she heard a racial slur during the second set. The second set, when she served 2 bowls. I myself witnessed the game, so I know exactly what she's talking about. I see for myself, but I want you to see for yourself so that you can get a better understanding of it, okay? Now, this is when she tells her teammate that she heard the slurs, and then the teammate and her, they switched sides because it was at the end of the second game set, where they switched sides, if you know anything about volleyball. So now we're going into the third set, but we're on the other side. What ended up happening is the friend and her go to their coach, the Duke's coach, Jolene Nagel. Then Nagel goes to the BY coach of Heather Armstead, right? According to what they said in the reports, they immediately sent a police officer and 4 ushers into the student section. Let me say that one more again. Accordingly, Jolene, okay, you got Rachel, her teammate, go to their coach, Jolene Nagel. Jolene Nagel goes talk to BYU coach, Heather Armstead. Armstead now goes to the BYU immediately and gets the police and the 4 ushers to go into the student section. Now remember, they saying this. Now remember, this must have to be in the what? Third set. Remember, they just got through with the second set, switching over from the second set, going over to the third set, and this is what they tell the coach. Now, accordingly, Richardson said she heard the slurs more intensely in the 4th set. Why is that? Why did it get more intense? Is because if you have watched the game like I watched the game, there was something that took place that riled that crowd up right before they finna go right back over there by where? The student section. So they were pumped up. But you have to have seen the game, and since you didn't see the game, I'm going to give you what you need to see. So accordingly, they go and they say that this detective, sergeant detective named Lawrenson, goes up in there with the ushers. And also they say a Duke assistant athletic director stood near, okay, and she served and by the student section. So you have now the Duke assistant athletic director, you have the detective, Lawrenson, and you have 4 ushers, right? So that's 6 people right there who supposedly are going up there according to what the report told. Now, again, this officer goes and says that he tells the athletic staff that he never heard one racial comment being made. Again, let me say this one more again. The officer who was told at the 3rd set, after they left from the student section side and now went over, now says that when he's there, he never heard a racial comment being made. Now remember, he wasn't there originally in the 2nd or the 1st set. He's coming now at either the 3rd, but later on they say something else. Okay? Now, after that, they said the BYU banned that fan. And then they claim and said that Duke said had used the N-word. Now, who is Duke? Duke is not Rachel Richardson. Who is Duke? Is Duke the assistant? Is that the assistant that went with the police with the 4 ushers? Is that what they're saying? That the Duke assistant director who went with the police with the 4 ushers, remember? So they saying now it is the Duke said had used the N-word. Who is Duke? And had it made a player uncomfortable after the match? What does uncomfortable mean? If you see my first video, the first video told you that what happened. It talked about somebody confronted her. She said she was threatened. Remember, I said like Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon when Bob Wall called him and told him to be ready for the morning, and Bruce had his leg up. Woo! Outside. And that's what they told Rachel. They told Rachel, watch your back before you go on outside on that bus, right? But what the reports end up saying something entirely different later on, okay? Now, accordingly, this detective It said he stand by the man. He stood next to the man throughout the fourth set. Now, wait a minute. The fourth set? I thought y'all came there through the third. So he still stood another 25 points. And then now another 25 and through the fourth. That's 50 points. He sat through 50 points after it was already given and told to them about the situation. So he's getting to sit there, correct? All right. Now, he says he didn't use any racist language. He believes that the man may have Asperger's syndrome and could have autism. Okay. Based on that, we're not questioning whether that happened or not, or whether he has Asperger's or autism. That's not the point here. The point is, did what Rachel Richardson said happen? Well, some of you think it didn't happen. Well, let me go ahead and get into this. And let's do this. All right, so we're going to go back to this one more again. Probably the last one that I do. But I want to put the cherry on the top. Because I seen videos after I did the video that I did for those 2 nights ago. Should be 2 nights ago when I'm doing this. And I end up doing a 3-hour video on that. Laid out some things. Some people, I had an individual who came and questioned whether what I was saying was fact, and he was believing that he said a lie, and I told him to hold that thought. So to get at me, I guess he threw a dislike in the video, which is fine, right? Then I started to see the day after that, I see other videos out here where I see black individuals. Not so much I haven't seen other than that Clay guy. Talked about, they believe, and they sit down and they talked about it. But I see more black people doing shows and just could not see the points that she lied, as if because she heard what she heard, and you say they can substantiate that what she said based on the fact that a video supposed to have the audio when you got over 5,000 or 5,500 people in a building and they riled up. How can you pinpoint and get the exact vocal sounds of one particular individual? But a lot of people mentality can't even pick that up. You can't even foresee that. I see all kind of cockamamie excuses to say, well, these people are liberals and all. I mean, I've never seen other folks. Ask yourself this question. Have you ever seen other ethnicity of people against their own people, whether they're guilty or not, out here? Hey, you sitting here watching the video. Why you sitting there? Put your hand on that like button, click it, thumbs it up, share this video, comment. You can like or dislike it. We don't care about that. And also, if you ain't over here and subscribe, what you waiting on? Get yourself over there and subscribe to get on up to WeUpReport so you can stay up, because we're going to keep you up. That's how you help keep this channel going. You can also do some monetary donations. We'll tell you about that later. But right now, wake yourself up, like, share, and comment. And don't forget, when you subscribe on that button, hit that put all notifications. You know how YouTube get down.
You know I need some money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash. Hey, come on, gotta get it. You know I need the money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash. Hey, come on, gotta get it.
Again, you need to make sure you stay paying attention. Listen to this one more again. All right, so we're going to go back to this one more again. Probably the last one that I do. But I want to put the cherry on the top. Because I seen videos after I did the video that I did for those 2 nights ago. Should be 2 nights ago when I'm doing this. And I end up doing a 3-hour video on that, laid out some things. Some people, I had an individual who came and questioned whether what I was saying was fact, and he was believing that he said a lie. And I told him to hold that thought. So to get at me, I guess he threw a dislike in the video, which is fine, right? Then I started to see the day after that, I see other videos out here where I see black individuals. Not so much I haven't seen other than that Clay guy talked about, they believe, and they had their sit down and they talked about it. But I see more black people doing shows and just could not see the points that she lied, as if because she heard what she heard, and you say they can substantiate that what she said based on the fact that a video supposed to have the audio when you got over 5,000 or 5,500 people in a building and they riled up. How can you pinpoint and get the exact vocal sounds of one particular individual? But a lot of people mentality can't even pick that up. You can't even foresee that. I see all kind of cockamamie excuses to say, well, these people are liberals and all. I mean, I've never seen other folks. Ask yourself this question. Have you ever seen other ethnicity of people against their own people, whether they're guilty or not, out here advocating strongly as you see some of the black people who go against the young sister, Rachel Richardson? Have you ever seen that? Yeah, I know I have shown there's some individuals according to what I was showing here, right? Right? I did that. But what I'm saying is, if you listen to them, you automatically don't take but a few seconds. You already know how they cut, how they see, who they are. It's very instant. The minute the words start coming out of their mouth. And then, as we were just talking about with the DeSantis and talking about the individual bill, right? Individual freedom. And how in that bill was structured, talking about inculcating, indoctrinating. That's what I'm seeing when I see a lot of these individuals out here talking. A lot of them are indoctrinated with a way that seems to be, as one individual that was in here, a brother that was in here talking about an apologist, right? These people are apologists for other people, or as I would say, they become the him say, so they interpret what those folks say, and then they come back as the messenger of truth to advocate, because they also got a disdain towards their own, and this allows them to get off and see, you niggas ain't shit. So I just seen show after show after show, and I was like, wow, nobody believes that she heard anything. Everybody's taking the position because the other side said what it said, but it didn't prove nothing either. So in the case of a tie, why does she get labeled as a liar? I mean, even went so far to make you believe that the person who they say has Asperger's, has autism, that he wouldn't be racist, right? He wouldn't be antagonizing you to make you feel that way. You guys just innocently pointed this young man out, and then they took him and banned him. He had nothing to do with nothing. And yet, the article that was written came from the man who was sitting there saying about the godmother, which they were trying to bridge and use the godmother's, what she says had nothing to do with Rachel, other than the fact that you're trying to connect to the relationship and making that somehow she's inculcating and teaching that. But other than that, it was all about what Rachel said. And everybody didn't want to hear what Rachel said. So we're going to take again, the report that was written. Being 2022, there should be some camera footage, and yet you're at a national televised game. Who would have their phone out when you're there, and that student body is there as cheerleaders, as the sixth man in basketball, or in the case of volleyball, I don't know, was it, let's see, 3, 8, ninth man, or whatever it might be, right? So, why would you have your camera out? You're already at the game. Now, after the game, you want to take a picture with one of the students, but you already go there, so I'm pretty sure you already know them, right? Or if maybe the other team or so forth, possibly after the game. But during the game, you're trying to enjoy the game, right? But that was what they alluded to. They kept alluding, well, there's people that had there, and these kids are all liberal. They're not like, what you selling? What are you selling? What are you selling? Oh, people kind of use the fact of Mormonism and the fact that the history in Utah, and we're not like that. Everybody around here keep telling us what somebody ain't like. So again, you own, like, just like I said, playing the reverse card in Uno. You want to be on this side and then keep me from playing my side and come right back and you playing again. You can't have both sides. So people don't have their own mind to even look at situation and think with their own black mind and look at the situation and then look at the correlation of things that have always transpired and give the benefit of the doubt to whom? Why does the person who got all this atrociousness that we just got through talking about, that they will make sure that they tweak and not want to be burdened by it, and they don't want it to be, they say, sanctioned? Only your history. Isn't that discrimination in itself? When you say the black American will not teach it, but y'all writing state laws and or Chinese history, there's going to be Hispanic history, there's going to be African that history, there's going to be everybody's history. But when it comes to you, African Americans, which we call black Americans, ADS, FBA, indigenous, indigenous, your history is offensive. And we have to make sure that we could tell it, and the fact that they said that we don't want to make other people feel the burden and guilt by those people who are white like we white, that somehow we're guilty for what happened to you. So that tells me everybody knows what done happened to you. Everybody knows what happened to you, but we all turn in a blind eye. So just imagine when you stand before what you believe to be a higher power, and when that question comes to you, you won't be able to deny it. Because you already saying, you already know, but we don't care to do anything because we had nothing to do with that. But you all take the benefits of what was not given. And at the end of this show, a young lady will have this nice little dissertation, again, throwing that rock in whatever dogs that it hit, let it hit. So, anyway, they was marring this girls and saying all these things. Everybody's saying everything. Everybody's saying everything, right? Everybody's saying all kind of stuff, right? Oh, it's okay. What they call this is defaming someone's character. Some even say, oh, it's possible. It's possible. But what's the likelihood? Well, what is the likelihood? You mean to tell me a person in the environment that it was in, with the people who are there, which I will show you, and has a history, not just the state itself, not in the religion itself, but in the same kind of dynamic, but in a different sport, where the professional male had to say he was going to whoop the husband and the wife. You have a Department of Justice come in because a little 10-year-old girl had to be. But this one here came with a motive to lie on these people. For what odd reason? Isn't the first thing they say when it comes, what's the motive? What's her motive? They took the motive off of Rachel and said the godmother. The godmother had the motive, as if she was some magician and told, you know what's going to happen is you get there and they're gonna have a big crowd, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna say that somebody said something so that I can use this in my campaign so I can be the damn judge. And she went for it. Like, she gonna be like, well, why would I do that? Then that's gonna fall on me and I'm gonna be marred. People would like to believe that. And I heard some of these Sambo ass niggas was sitting here talking about calling her and all this shit. Well, I don't know whether she did it or not. But I know what I read, and I know the high probability, and it can happen. I'm not going to say nothing is impossible. But it's some odd reason, the likelihood, because just like it said, discomfort. You don't want the discomfort of it. So we'll just put it back on you. We're going to reverse card on you. Reverse card on you. Reverse card back on you. Draw 4, draw 4, draw 4, draw 2, draw 2, reverse, draw 4, right? So you never come on my hand and I have to play. So let's look at this. Let's look at this, right? Let's really look at this. Because see, that's what they want to sell. Now, I took the liberty upon myself and I watched the game for myself. I watched the whole 2 hours and I think 5 minutes, the whole volleyball game. I watched it. And some of the scenarios of the things that was being said, oh, she had a bad game and she used that because she had a bad game. That girl did better than most of them on the damn team. Did she not have any aces when she served? I didn't see no aces. Did she not get to some balls that somebody else probably should have got before her, but out of position somewhat? Yes, it happened. That's what volleyball is. When you hit it and you on the side, you trying to get in the angle, putting the ball and spotting in places where somebody can't get to. That's how you score. So why do she get to carry the whole burden for the whole team when she contributed many of the points? But you didn't watch the game. So how do you know? Many of you don't. So you just got the report. I'm not talking about the white folks. I'm talking about black folks that I've seen on doing these shows. Right? So since you didn't watch the damn game, I'm going to bring the game to you in what they say a picture is 1,000 words. Let me say that one more again. A picture is 1,000 words. So with the 1,000 words you about to see here, that I'm about to show you, you make the call. What do you think might possibly happen? Because see, what everybody wants you to say is like she was just this lone wolf that was getting berated and only her got berated, but nobody else. But you know, a lot of y'all don't believe it when black folks say it, but if white folks, you see white folks get it, it may trigger that coon in you to have sympathy for your own. Right? Let me say that one more again. Maybe you see Miss Ann getting beat down or getting berated by the rest of them wolves that's in that damn den in that cave. Then maybe you might turn that coon on and be sympathetic to your little sister. What are you talking about, Mr. Brilliant Mind? Well, here you go. Now, the ironicness of this, I want to show you this here. Let me show you this, right? It's a blurred picture, right? You see a blurred picture, right? This is actually the first time in that game that Rachel got to serve. You can see the scoreboard, right? The scoreboard is 6-3 BYU, right? 6-3 BYU. Now the reason why you only seeing this and it's blurred is because what they did. I don't know. I'm going to assume this is my opinion. But prior to her, and I probably should have showed that, and I will show. Matter of fact, you will see it. You will see the other. But everybody prior to her, when they served, they showed them with the ball. They showed them getting ready. You're going to see the student body behind them and what they going to do. But her very first serve, as you see, they already won match. So this is actually in the second match. Do you see next to the 6 a 1 and at the top of that 1 a 0? So they're already in the second set. This is the first time that Rachel Richardson is serving. She said she heard the first time. Okay? She thought what she heard the first time. Okay? That's what she said. Others try to make it seem they take what the godmother said and said every time she served. They try to focus on every time. No, what did Rachel say? Rachel said, first time I wasn't quite sure. I thought I heard, but the next time I heard it clear. So let's see if Rachel still what she said is exactly what she said, the high probability, than all this other stuff. So I'm going to show you. So you see on your screen there, right? You see a blur, and the reason why it's blurred, and that's the best I could get, and I'm very good at getting capture these things like this. So you know why that's blurred? I don't know if they did this afterwards. I'm thinking this is kind of suspect because I watched the whole game, and everybody who served, they made sure that you got to see them. You're going to see everything after this one, but this original one, you didn't get to see it because what they did is, you know how like when you watching a game and then a play that had happened before, let's say they starting up, either coming back from commercial, and then they're showing the last play, but it wasn't even a commercial. They were just showing the play before, and then it's her turn to serve. They don't show her. They don't give her the close-up on her very first time. They don't show her. They showing this. Ironically, they don't even show her. When they finally show her, she's serving. She's finna serve. So we didn't get to see originally the very first time she served in this game. And I don't know whether she served in that first set. I don't even know. And I watched the whole game. But this is the first one I seen her as she was the one that was serving. Right? Now let's watch this here. I want y'all to see this, man. I want you to see this. Next one, they show, now look at the scoreboard. Okay, to show you that I'm not bullshitting. Is it not 6-3? 6-3, correct? Now you see it, 9-4. But BYU still up, right? So the camera peered over into the crowd. Look at that crowd. Okay? Look at that crowd. See that one with that in his hand, and see that pink on his wrist, and he got them gloves on. Keep that in mind, right? Keep it in mind. Okay. So then they go and then they show Miss Ann, 12-5. You see what they doing? You see what they doing behind her? You see how she looking? We don't know what's being said. Do you think you could get the audio to hear what they were saying? Can you get the audio of what he was saying? Or the one behind her to the left, right? But she hearing it. She don't turn around. She being professional. She being an athlete. She being a D1 athlete. This is part of the ambiance, and this is what they do. The sound come up, but they saying, yelling, whatever they doing. She hearing that. Okay? So now everybody wants everybody to believe that whatever they saying is cool. Hey, you sitting here watching the video. Why you sitting there? Put your hand on that like button, click it, thumbs it up, share this video, comment. You can like or dislike it. We don't care about that. And also, if you ain't over here and subscribe, what you waiting on? Get yourself over there and subscribe to get on up to WeUpReport so you can stay up, because we're going to keep you up. That's how you help keep this channel going. You can also do some monetary donations. We'll tell you about that later. But right now, wake yourself up, like, share, and comment. And don't forget, when you subscribe on that button, hit that put all notifications. You know how YouTube get down.
You know I need some money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash. Hey, come on, gotta get it. You know I need the money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash. Hey, come on, gotta get it.
don't know what's being said, but okay, Miss Ann getting some, okay? Right? Now look at another one. See, look at them. They all, smirking, laughing. You don't know what they saying. You in they den. You in their house. Whatever they need to do to get you off your game. You just assuming nobody ain't saying no fuck shit. You believe they ain't saying that. But you don't know what's being said. Right? You don't know. But why is it that you taking the side of something that you don't know and they couldn't prove, but they still say she lied? Anyway, going on, right? See? Look how she looking. Point down, right? You don't know what's being said, but you can kind of read her facial expression. This Miss Ann. This ain't even Rachel. This Miss Ann. Right? Okay? Okay? Now look at this. She trying to serve. She trying to serve. Remember the last show I told you at the end who they end up saying it was? Do you see him with his arm folded to the left? Do you see him? There you go. That's the one they're going to claim at the end. But we'll see. Let's see. Kind of sitting there. But look at them. You got females yelling. You got some in the back yelling. You got them all kind of doing that. And she's sitting there serving. So everybody just thinking they just, that's what they want you to believe. Right? Right? What if I say, no? Did I just say it? No. Can you tell? No. Right? Could I do that and get away with it? Oh, no? Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Look what they doing. All that coming at you. She didn't look. Now, this one getting it. She getting it. Because, matter of fact, she was serving and they was scoring. That's why you see the Duke got 7. When she was serving, they were scoring. Matter of fact, Rachel scored about 2 times on that. Right? She got some hops, though. But anyway, so this one kept serving and she kind of was like, damn, I don't want to go back over here. Right? So let me show you. Right? So look at him. Now, even one to the left, he in it too. Look at him. He doing it too. He doing it too. We don't know what's being said. There's no guarantee that they just being within the confines of the game of heckling. We don't know. But we want to say that our little sister just made that up because why? And then you had them somehow bridge it and talk about somebody else who wasn't even at the damn game. And now I have all these niggas that's sitting here making all these videos defaming her character and you couldn't prove shit. But you saying these shit to defame your sister so that they don't carry what they've been doing? They don't have a history of doing shit like that. And for some odd reason, Jessie Smollett come up, she lied, made up, and made them people look bad. What is her motive for it? She had a bad game. What? A bad game, you gonna pull that move. That's what y'all bringing us to some shit that we'll do some shit like that? You would really say that? That we would do that? Y'all full of shit. Y'all full of shit. That's all. Right? So here's the court so you can get a good overview of how this is looking. To the right side, there ain't that student body over there. It's really like kind of like parents in this little single seats to the right. But to that left, do you see that there? From the top to the bottom. And guess what? When they serving over there, see that like that white in the middle, whatever that is, that I don't know if that's NCAA or whatever that little, that's what she was serving from. Go back and look. Look at her. Go back one more. Okay? They all on her. They all on top of her. Is they not? All on top of her. Okay? So you see the purple to the left. See how far away? Now see where they are on the bench? See where the bench is. See Their team is to the all the way over to the top left corner. Now remember, you see Miss Ann, you can see that purple background. So that means you can see the purple. Don't you see that faded purple, like the same color where she's at there? Don't you see it there to your left? So look how far away that is from the bench. So how can her teammates on the bench hear what they saying all up on her from right there? How can they hear? And I'm not saying all of them was sitting there chanting that. It don't take all of them. All it take is one. All it take is one asshole to say some shit that, what the fuck that motherfucker just say? Right? And we want to act as if you mean to tell me percentage-wise, right, of what are racist. So remember they always try to sell us also in history that the only people who were racist in this country was those in the South, right? Ain't that what they tell you? Only those in the South were racist, not those up in the North. Is that true though? Is that true? Oh, there was some abolitionists, right? So that just covered everybody in the whole North. There was abolition, but that covered the whole North. Really? Okay. You won't believe that? Go ahead, right? So you get to see the court now. You get to see the court. You see them on the left there, and the other team is on the right in the top right corner. So that's the side they on now doing this set match, and the away team is on the left that's closer to the student body. Okay? Now, they serving, but they now are saying get closer over towards the bench. Don't go all the way over there. Them animals over there, right? So you kind of see her. She's a little bit, no, go back to the other one. Yeah. No, not that one. Yeah, that one. Right? You see she more over by the white side now. Right? She's closer over to the white. Right? She over there with that white and purple over there. She ain't go over there like this one. This was in the heart of it. She went over there in the heart. So we didn't get to see originally when Rachel did her first serve. Right? When she did her very first serve, they did not let you see her original serve and where she was. Is it possible she was over here and they did the same thing? And her being who she is, somebody got one off, trying to be funny and shit. Is it possible? Is it possible? Now we playing spades and you my partner. And I'm telling you, I got a strong possible. What does that mean? Is it a jack? Is it a 10? Is it a 9? Is it an 8? I'm telling you it's possible I can win that. I'm counting this possible. So probability of a situation like this, but you see, and it being Rachel, everybody wants to see when you brand new, just got here 20 years, 15 years, 30 years, even 40 years. Some of us been around, we done seen what the game is. You can't sell us that, but to make us seem like what we talk about, we don't know what we talk about, and then you get in here and you get to talk. Well, we're not like that. It's been going on before you got here. You ever see, in the hood when the sisters in the summertime double dutching? You know what the game is, right? The game is to time the rope, get in and jump on both and keep on going, right? Well, that's what happened when you was born. Shit was already turning. Shit was already moving. When you got in and got up in the game of what's going on, you had to jump your ass in. Now, if you can get out here you won't and not know how to get in and fall and trip up on the rope, start back all over again, right? Or getting beat down. One of the two, but otherwise you get in and you jump and keep on moving. So, we didn't get to see Rachel initially. We don't know when Rachel went there. All we got to see when Rachel went is this blur. Now you can go over there and go find the video and see for yourself. You won't get that. You won't get that. But I'm going to show you later on because Rachel served a lot in this game for some odd reason. I kept wondering how she was getting to serve so much. But the coach had to do it. But anyway, so let me show you, right? So let's keep on going. Okay? Now, that's the court, right? So you see this one here who's serving, is got way over. She got over. She ain't trying to go over there. Okay? Now look at them where she at. Look at them where she at. They doing the same thing. They doing the same thing to her. But we don't know what's being said. We understand it's college. You being the 6th man, 8th man, 10th man, whatever man it is that the stand and the student body be participant, fine. But that don't mean that ain't nobody saying no fuck shit. Why did these niggas making all these damn videos and want to say that this girl making shit up, that there's a bunch of motherfuckers in that damn stand and not one of them won't say no shit? Because why? It makes you feel good to know that they won't say no shit like that? Is that what this is about? Y'all have to feel good of your conscience to know that white folks ain't racist? When your whole history and the generation that have been here that went through all this shit, we've been fighting for all this shit, and all of a sudden now ain't nobody doing shit. When you ask yourself when slavery stopped, and then you find out all that shit is fuck shit and bullshit, and they tell you that they apologize and that shit is fuck shit and bullshit. So everybody's telling us everything went away, but ain't nobody done shit to stop nothing. Ain't nobody done shit to stop nothing, and yet y'all give them always the benefit of the doubt for your own consciousness. And then they sitting there saying, well, we know who we are, but we gonna make sure that you can't talk about what we are. And y'all out here defaming your damn sister for what? Cause you want it to be true that she would make it up. Y'all want that to be so damn true so you can feel good that you love them, you old hound dog. So here they is doing it to the white people, but you don't know what they saying. I ain't hear no video to see what they say. Why don't you go and do everybody and see what they were saying? They got to be some kind of video for that. Nah, y'all ain't what y'all finna say. You ain't trying to do that shit. Nah, you ain't trying to do that. So now she gets in there. She comes back. This is her second time. This is her first time that they showing it. Let me show you again. She's back serving. Look at the scoreboard, 21-15. They only go to 20. I think they went to 25, right? The score went to 25. So at 21-15, Rachel is serving again. And look, they're not giving you the same angle as they gave them other ones. They not letting you see that. They only let you see, they blurred the first one, so you don't know what happened. And here's a second one. Do you not see somebody over there bending over, yelling and saying all kind of shit? We don't know what's being said. You don't know what's being said. And look where she's at. Where's she located at, y'all? What is that? Okay, let's see if we can find that on the floor. Let's see if we can find that on the floor. Go, let's see if you see on the floor. Go to the floor. Go to the floor. We gotta see where she at to see where she at on the not that one. Not that one. Not that one. There we go. All right. So where's she at? She is over in the middle. See? She's in the middle. She's over near where the white part is. That section right there. That's where she's at. She's right there in that little white section. See how up there? You can see that, right? She in that section over there. Okay? She's in that section. And you see the dude to the left. You see he got his hand, his elbows. He don't look like to be no freshman either. He look to be something else. He look a little big in elbows. Elbows to the right, got their elbows up, but they won't show their face. They won't show their face. You see how clear you got everybody else? You got everybody else, huh? You got everybody else clear, didn't you? You got them, you showing that clear. But when it got to Rachel, you didn't show that. You didn't show that one. It was getting it off. Everybody knew. The one starter that come on there, there's only going to be one that get to play. She the only black girl that plays on the Duke team. She's the only one that played in this game. Came into that hostile environment. But y'all said she made it up because she had a bad game. Did you watch the game? Okay? Look how packed it was up in there. Huh? Look how packed it was up in there. Look how packed it was up in there. Huh? First set 25-14, second set 25-19. Okay? Then they came in there. Remember when she said the intensity after she went and told, they came and the intensity got even higher. They came in there and they riled up. If you go watch the video, you see they in there snapping. They in there doing, he doing some hold down. They in there riled up. I'm not saying they don't do that at college event. But what she said, the intensity turned up. Because by now, she done already mentioned it. But I've been looking for, I looked the whole game for when I went to see the part where she said, there was a couple things that came out that I said she must have had already told them already, right? But like she said, nobody did nothing, okay? So now they come back. It's the other team, right? Because now this is the third set, right? Which means they switch. Now they not on the left side now. They on the right side. They not by the student body. Correct? Okay? But something happened where this dude, whoever this blue official is, they had a conversation about something. What? I don't know. It wasn't about the game, but it was about something. And that is the coach from the other side. That is the coach of the team of BYU. Okay? Something took place. He's talking also to another one, right? Something took place. What? I don't know. But it had nothing to do with the game. Something had happened. Okay? She's going to serve again, but she's on the other side. She's on the other side now, right? She's on the other side, right? She's on the other side. On the right side. She's not on the other side. She's on the right side. Okay? You see a little smirk on the face and stuff like that. I don't know, people talking about something funny, whatever the fact it may be. Things could be said. We don't know. Right? But she's in this environment. And matter of fact, that second team, they took that first starter squad out, brought in that second team, and that team went up 10-0 on them. They had to call 2 timeouts. Okay? So right now, they bring her back in the game. It's 12-1. She came right in, and she's serving. They call the timeout. You see 13-5. They call the timeout. They huddling up. Okay, the coach, you see, they coach is the one with the colors, with the blonde hair. That's her coach. And remember, the other one was the other coach for BYU when the dude walked up to him, right? Now, remember, they on this side over here, right? They on the right side of the court. They on the right side. They're not by the student body. They on the other side, right? And then you get to see Rachel sitting there, okay? All right, you see her looking, not really enjoying herself. She enduring it, right? Come back again. She's serving again on the other side at 21-14. Okay, she's serving. This is the third match. This is the third match. You see 2 already at the bottom of BYU, but they up 21-14. Okay. They showed the attendance for that night. Matter of fact, it was a Smith Fieldhouse record. All time, most people came event in the history of volleyball in there. You see it? 2018, they had 5,472. December 8th, 2018, they had 5,326. 2016, 5,100. But this night, 5,507 showed up tonight. Something was special tonight. Tonight was special. Tonight was special. Wonder what it was. Hey, you sitting here watching the video. Why you sitting there? Put your hand on that like button, click it, thumbs it up, share this video, comment. You can like or dislike it. We don't care about that. And also, if you ain't over here and subscribe, what you waiting on? Get yourself over there and subscribe to get on up to WeUpReport so you can stay up, because we're going to keep you up. That's how you help keep this channel going. You can also do some monetary donations. We'll tell you about that later. But right now, wake yourself up, like, share, and comment. And don't forget, when you subscribe on that button, hit that put all notifications. You know how YouTube get down.
You know I need some money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash in hand. Come on, gotta get it. You know I need the money, gotta get the money, cause I need some cash in hand. Come on, gotta get it.
They ain't ranked. The BYU is ranked, but Duke ain't ranked. So why tonight was this big all-time breaking attendance tonight? Oh, that little nigger's coming, ain't she? Oh, we can get off tonight. Let's go and have some fun tonight. Huh? 5,500 and the few that came with you and a couple players that might be in the audience. Y'all outnumbered. Anyway. So now she's serving for the first time after when she was there the first time. The first time she served how many? Twice. She served twice. The first one we didn't get to see. They blocked that so you couldn't see how they responded to her the very first time she served. We didn't get to see that. So there's no video of that. There's no video, no sound of that. And we're not sure if that's the one she said originally what she thought she heard. But now when she come back, what she thought she heard. And you seen how that hand was back there doing what it was doing. Huh? Right? We don't know what's being said. Why would this girl use that? Y'all would really say that we as black Americans, with all the gifts we got from the Creator, that we would use racism because we're losing? That's what y'all saying? Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Y'all is crazy. Okay? Right? Now look, the team is by her. Let me say this again. The team is by her while she's serving. Why is the team by her? Why is the bench by her? Why? Oh, y'all forgot? Go back and show the go show the bench. No, go show the bench. Show how far the bench is from what it is originally. No, not that one. Not that one. Go back. Look at the bench. Right? See the bench over there? Right? But now look at the bench is by her. Why is all of them up on where she needs serving? Why is they all right there, y'all? Why is her whole team of the white girls right there like a protection? Why are they right there? Why? And number 4 is looking in the stands. What is they saying? Y'all said that girl lying in that environment? Number 1 attendance of all time in their house at that particular game? They came for a reason, didn't they? Huh? Look where they are over there on the bench. And then look at them standing over there. She on the court serving. They ain't supposed to be there. But why are they there? Why are they there? Now, you see that arrow I got there? Look at the arrow. You know what that arrow is? That's the police on the bench. The police is sitting there on the bench. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Blow up a little bit. You can see, you can't see the badge a little behind the shirt or that one in front of him. That's the police right there. The police had to be on the bench over there with them. But she made all that up. Nobody, they were saying that nobody, you didn't hear no statement by none of the team. They didn't let the team make no statement. So it was just her and she made it up. And yet, I just showed you, why is her teammates right there that close up on her? Why are they there? I don't know what to tell y'all niggas, man. You niggas that be advocating against your own damn people. Sitting out and talking about, oh, how she lied and she made this up. I even seen one but say, I don't know, I can't call it. That's what you probably, I can't call it. Matter of fact, I thought they told it, you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Especially when it comes to your own. We don't, I ain't gonna say a lot of these people, again, I skin and I can. But a lot of you love, like I said, a lot of brothers and sisters that be in this corner, they be talking, they'll never go on this side of the road. You always on the same side, talking about your own people. And I'm saying I'm not saying that some of them ain't worth to be chastised and shit to be talked about, but this other side, that's why I'm the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. Because why? Because why? Okay, so I laid it all out, did what was needed to be done. My damn batteries need to be gone. And, you know, I'm not here to make you believe what I'm saying. I presented my case. I didn't use my own evidence. I took the evidence of what nobody, when you looked at all the channels that talked about her, not one of them showed you nothing from the game. All you got is the articles, you got the pundits spinning their narrative, and they all want to allude to the fact that the godmother put her up to some kind of conspiracy. They skewed her words to say that she said this when it was the godmother said, but you made it seem like she said it. Why? Why do you need her to lie? If you're not doing it, ain't no need to make up no lie. But you have to lie because who made you change? You know, people want to believe they changed on their own. If that been the case, there should have never been the shit that happened in the first place. But you didn't have that in you. You never had it in you. So the thing is to make nobody have to say it towards you, to remind you of it. That's why they're working so hard on my next show. Stay tuned for my next show. We're going to talk about the history and with that CRT and how they try to come in with that bill. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to see why is your history, why is it that your history, our history, is so offensive? It's an offensive truth. Why is our history the offensive truth? Because why? So I want to thank everybody who came tonight. Envy every day for your cash app. I didn't see what it is yet, brother, but I'm going to take for what it is, whatever it is. Thank you. Me and my family, we all appreciate what you do. Another special thanks go out to my brother. Oh man, why am I slipping his name? 062. You know, slipping your name. I've been in here snapping, so I got your name. But I appreciate that you came back, brother, and did another one for me. Family, appreciate that, man. Like I said, been in this business for 11 years. A lot of you ain't never heard of me. You know why you ain't gonna never hear about me? Because I do this here. This is what I do. I don't have a problem addressing that, where everybody else is tiptoeing through the tulips and not want to address it. Not because it's like, hey, we trying to say, hey, this is what it ain't. No, we're not going to sit here and just say, look, man, why y'all trying to destroy this young girl's future for the simple fact to cover? I understand from the business aspect. I get that. I get that from the business aspect, but the way that people are spinning it, how does a tie make she lied? If they can't find no evidence to collaborate to say that she did it, and then based on the fact that most people didn't even see everything that took place, so that part is imaginative in their minds, which means that they all got is a story, a narrative. It's like the Christopher Columbus story, right? Christopher Columbus never came to the United States, never touched this place, but we're told that story. But anyway, that's for another time, for another place. But again, I want to thank everybody who came here tonight. Normally we go longer, but I just want to get this one out because I'm going to be back tomorrow with another show. And then the show after that, and the show after that, and I'm just putting them together, and they will be out. And again, I am the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. But I got a sister for all of those who made those shows about Rachel Richardson. And some of them weren't even FBA, ADS, indigenous, indigenous. They were black folks, but they were some other parts of the world. I want this sister to relay this message to all those who it pertained to. She's going to throw a rock, and if you feel some kind of way, it's only because it must be the dog that rock must hit. So check this out, and we'll be right back.
All right. Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here, and I'm in the middle of editing a video right now, but I just wanted to come out and make this video real quick. You know how you're multitasking and your brain is just rotating around and around on an idea. Recently, I've been talking a lot about race relations on my channel, and some of the comments that I get are from Nigerians in Nigeria who talk about how if they were in America, all of the wonderful and amazing things that they would be able to do if they were in America. If I were in America, I would be rich, I would be famous, I would be this, I would be that, because you Black Americans are lazy, you Black Americans are this, you're that, you love thug culture. I just got a comment the other day, and I commented back to the person about their colonial mindset. It's another day, another Karen. So I'm constantly having to battle Caucasians on one hand, and then now I have to battle Africans on the other. And you all know, listen, I love my Nigerian people. I am genetically Nigerian and Ghanaian. I just spent dirty December and just won't go home January in Ghana and Nigeria. And there's a pervasive thought that I continue to see over and over and over again. And that idea is that somehow there's something defunct and wrong with African Americans just because our trauma is different than your trauma. And as I was editing this video, I realized, listen, the only reason why your Black ass would be able to come over to America and be able to do anything is because of the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the fighting, and the dedication of African Americans who on this soil changed this land. African Americans are the ones who got this country integrated. Let me explain something to you. White people in this country did not give us anything. We have had to take. And this is why you see what is going on in the news and the media right now. We took in the 1960s what it is that we had. We took their lynchings, their terrorizing, their burning down of our neighborhoods, and we continue to rebuild and rebuild and revisit and retwist and re-rise up what it is that we have done in this country. And the only reason why anybody can bring their Black ass over here from another mother effing country is because of what Black Americans have done on this land. And I'm saying this as a person who is bicultural, whose father is not American, doggone it. My father is an immigrant, and he was able to come over to this country and do something in this country because of the Black people who fought, who died, who bled, who were lynched on this land. We have been given nothing. Everything that we have in this country, we have because we have taken. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. So don't sit your Black ass over there in your country where you're not doing what you need to do with your government. If anything, you should feel inspired by African Americans, inspired to pick up your picket sign and take your ass off your seat and go out there in the streets and protest in your damn land. I was over there in Nigeria. I walked the streets of Lagos, Abuja, and where was it that I was? It was Igbo land. I walked the streets and I saw what it was and I saw what it was like. And I talked to Nigerians, and part of the issue is that there is a docility that exists inside of the average Nigerian that I spoke to. Had a complacency and a docility that exists in there when it comes to their government. And then, right? The nerve of anyone to suggest that because of the type of trauma that you experience in your country, the type of brainwashing that you exist in your country is different than the type of trauma and brainwashing that we have existed in this country, that somehow that makes you better? No. Part of the reason that Nigeria looks the way that it is right now is because Europeans ran roughshod over that country. Europeans ran roughshod over Nigeria. Took down your symbols and put up their own, implanted you with their religion, have you worshiping white skin. And then after they sucked and siphoned from the country enough, then they started implanting the leaders that they wanted, who would fulfill their white supremacist agenda. And so now you have government officials who don't give a good goddamn about the average Nigerian, because they take their money and they put their money abroad and they leave you there without lights 24 hours a goddamn day. Meanwhile, they got lights. I've been to Banana Island. I see what rich Nigerians live like. Speaking of which, if I were to come to Nigeria with my American mindset, I would be rich in Nigeria, because I'm not from Nigeria and I don't have the same type of indoctrination that Nigerians have. So when you start trying to say that you will come over to America and do all this, that, and bravo, because you've been trained in a different way. If I went to listen, I was in Nigeria 3 weeks before I made it over to Banana Island. And when I spoke to one of my Nigerian friends, I didn't realize how difficult of a thing that is for the average Nigerian. So don't sit there and start talking about how you would do so much different. If anything, this is the time right now that we need to come together. Instead of being in your colonial programming and mindset, instead of that, release those shackles. Release those shackles and realize that what African Americans are doing and have done in this country is remarkable. It is revolutionary. We have changed this world, goddammit, because if it wasn't for African Americans, black people would still be in the goddamn zoo. No. So no, don't sit over there in some foreign land talking about what it is that you would do in America, because if you were born on this land, entrenched in the funk and the foulness that exists on this land, you would be just as mentally enslaved, just as mentally entrained as the people who are here. So don't think that because your trauma is different than ours, that there's something better about your trauma. Because if anything, just the mere fact that you even dream, that you salivate of going to another land, shows and tells that there's something going on yours that needs to be fixed. So rather than going off and talking about all of the things that you would do in America, please do them in Nigeria. Fix your government, rise up, do whatever it is that you need to do on your land. Listen, we talked about this when I was in Nigeria. Monthly salary. What was the monthly salary when we talked? $150 per month? 150 US per month in Nigeria. I think the salary was $30 a week. I was at a hotel where I was spending $160 a day. That was half a month's pay for the man who took my money. Half a month's pay. This is not stuff that I am theorizing about. This is stuff that I have seen. So it's like, Yes, people think that we complain and that we moan and bemoan. People think that we are dissatisfied and we're always complaining and we're harping and this, that, and the other. That's because there's inequality. That's because there is an infringing on human rights. That's because there's a disparity that exists in this land. And so we speak up about it and we let our voices be heard. Does it get annoying for people to have to hear you complain over and over again? I'm sure it does get annoying, but it gets stuff done. People over here talking about the riots. Oh, people are paying attention though, right? Because how many people will sit silently as people march peacefully, but start damaging some stuff, and then now all of a sudden ears perk up. It's on the main news. It's broadcasted worldwide. So yes, listen. Instead of sitting there salivating about what's going on and the opportunities that were created in other countries, listen, go do your damn research. It wasn't but 55 years ago that we integrated. Black people and white people could not be in the same spaces. They had funky, wretched, unclean bathrooms for us. Hot ass, dirty ass, lead-filled water for us. Meanwhile, refrigerated water for the white people. Clean bathrooms for the white people. Police to serve the white people. I mean, you still see how they're calling the police on us because they know, oh yeah, if I call the police on your black ass, they're going to believe me and not you. So if left up to the devices of the average white supremacists in this country, there wouldn't be nothing for you to come over here for. There wouldn't be nothing for you to come over here to get or to gain, because your black ass would be segregated someplace with the police ready to bash in your goddamn African head at any chance that they get. Because ain't nothing, the only thing worse than an American nigga is a foreign nigga. Listen, I'm gonna get off of here.
Remember, the enemy has only images and illusions, behind which he hides his true motives. Destroy the image, and you will break the enemy.